Factsverse presents. Woman says she found a rare coin in her yard as a 9-year-old. Police rush to her house. When out in your garden, you expect to find plants, vegetables, maybe the occasional bug or even critter. Kate Harding's from Britain, and as a young girl she found more in her family's garden than she ever expected. When she was 9 years old, she and her mother were working in their garden. While her mother was busy planting, Kate was playing in the dirt like a typical child would do, and she came across an old silver coin dating back 7 centuries. When she found the coin, Kate kept it a secret from her mother. It was very old and worn, so Kate took it to her room. She closed the door and started to clean the coin. For the first few days, Kate obsessed over her discovery, but like all kids, she eventually lost interest in the shiny bauble, put it in her dresser drawer, and forgot about it. It was out of sight and, over time, out of mind. She'd pretty much forgotten about it entirely. When she found the coin, she was only 9 years old. She didn't understand the importance of that kind of a coin, and it made it easy for the young girl to just forget about it until almost 10 years later. She didn't see the coin again until she was preparing to go off to college. She was going to be living on campus, so Kate was packing up everything in her dresser drawers. And when she did this, Kate discovered the coin that she had forgotten all about all those years earlier. Finding the coin meant a lot to Kate. It actually represented some memories. A few months after she found it all those years ago, her mother passed away. Seeing the coin again brought back those memories of gardening with her mother. It was one of the last good memories she had of her mother. When Kate was young, she didn't understand such an old coin could be valuable, and now that she was older, she was really curious about the coin. It wasn't until she was 23 years old that Kate decided to learn as much as she could about it. She had plenty of questions, too. How old was it? Where had it come from? How did it end up buried in her family's garden? Well, Kate realized she wasn't going to get any answers to her questions on her own, so she went out to find somebody who could help. Kate knew she needed some specialized help. She figured the first place to search for answers would be the local museum in her town. While there, she told the experts how she found the coin in her garden when she was just a little girl and that she wanted to know the whole story behind the coin. She was hoping everybody there would have answers to her questions. Kate wanted to know everything about the coin and hoped that the museum experts could help. When she went to the museum, she never expected she'd actually end up in trouble. When Kate got to the museum, she took the coin out of her bag. The museum employee looked at the coin and realized it was an exceptional piece. The expert told Kate that what she found all those years ago wasn't a coin, not exactly. Kate didn't know what to think. Ever since she uncovered the piece when she was 9 years old, she believed it was an ancient coin. When the museum expert told Kate that it wasn't a coin, she was really confused. The expert told her the coin wasn't used as currency, and it was far more valuable than money. What Kate found in the garden as a child wasn't a coin, it was a PIEDFORT. PIEDFORTs look like coins, but they weigh twice as much, they're twice as thick. The expert told Kate that many people confused PIEDFORTs with coins, so it's understandable that Kate did as well. She wanted to know more about the PIEDFORT and how it ended up in her backyard. The expert told Kate that the PIEDFORT she found was worth a lot of money. So Kate got really excited about her student loans and other debt. Maybe she could pay them off using this PIEDFORT. Anybody in Kate's situation would have been excited to hear that what they had found was worth a lot of money. She couldn't stop thinking about not needing to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. Kate believed that since she was the one who found the coin, it was technically hers. She was sure that she could profit from the find. Unfortunately, the rule of finders keepers doesn't always apply. Many professionals in the field are still trying to find the purpose of PIEDFORTs. Some believe they were used as guides for mint workers. Some think they were used for reckoning counters for officials. The one thing they do know is that PIEDFORTs are valuable, but they have yet to discover the history behind their value. Kate was shocked when she found out the PIEDFORT she found was 7 centuries old. Most people will never find an object that's been hidden for 700 years. According to the expert, Kate's coin was a commemorative object that put a mark on the ascension of Charles IV to the French throne back in 1322. This was very interesting because now Kate knew the coin, PIEDFORT, had historical value. She was sure that that would make it worth even more. The expert told Kate that the PIEDFORT she found was worth around $3,000. For Kate, deciding whether or not to sell the valuable coin wasn't easy. Yes, she really could have used the money, but also it held some serious sentimental value for her. It was one of the last good memories that she had of her mother, and she wasn't sure getting rid of it would be worth $3,000. She figured that after she spent the $3,000 it'd be all over. If she were to hold on to it, though, she'd always have that wonderful memory of her mother. Unfortunately, it turned out Kate didn't have to make a decision at all. According to the police in England, she didn't have the right to keep or sell the coin. Because of its immense historical value, Kate found out that it wasn't her property. When she found this out, she couldn't understand why the authorities were so interested in one tiny piece of metal. She wasn't the only one confused either. The police wondered why it meant so much to Kate if it weren't for financial gain. The experts at the Ludlow Museum told Kate that she should allow the local coroner to take a look at the coin so they could learn more about it. This would enable them to begin negotiations with Kate. Kate realized then the museum was hoping to buy the coin from her, but she still wasn't sure if she wanted to part with it. In the end, Kate decided not to sell the coin because it held too much sentimental value. She ignored the request and went on with her life. Kate's mistake was letting anybody know that she had the coin or the PIEDFORT in the first place. Kate was trying to move on with her life, but people at the museum wouldn't let up. They sent her letters almost daily about it. The letters went unanswered, and staff at the museum called her every day. Kate ignored all the museum's attempts because she wanted to keep the coin to remember her mother by. When Anthony Sibsey, a South Shropshire coroner, was told about the PIEDFORT, he wanted to learn more about it. When he did, Anthony realized the coin had to be in a museum. Since Kate ignored all the phone calls and letters, the coroner had no other choice. He sent the police to Kate's house. Police told Kate that if she wanted to keep the PIEDFORT, she'd have to go to court. She was baffled. She didn't understand why she had to go to court for something that has belonged to her since she was 9 years old. Well, what Kate didn't know was that there was a law regarding old coins in England. When she found the coin, or PIEDFORT, as a child, she didn't understand its worth or the law. Kate found out that she was in violation of the Treasure Act of 1996, and they were going to prosecute her. She had no idea that things were getting so out of control. Kate immediately regretted trying to find out about the coin at all. Had she never gone to the museum, Kate would still have the PIEDFORT that reminded her so much of her mother. The Parliament of the UK created the Treasure Act in 1996, and according to the Act, anybody who found an object that could be considered a treasure would need to report finding it. It was a law, and it was legally binding. Kate didn't think that she had violated the Act because she never knew the Act existed. And this wasn't the only part of the law. It also stated that anyone who finds an object over 300 years old that contains 10% precious metals was legally bound to report it to the coroner within 14 days. Because Kate was holding on to the coin and refused to give it up, it was considered a criminal offense. They were taking the crime seriously, too. Kate was confused, she felt helpless, wondering if she was heading to prison. Well, she was arrested, prosecuted, and she could have been sentenced to up to 3 months in jail. Fortunately, Kate had a good lawyer, Brendan Reedy. Thanks to her lawyer, Kate was not going to be spending any time in jail. As long as she paid $30 in court costs, she wouldn't have to go to jail. Kate was happy she wasn't going to jail, but she was still upset because she wasn't going to be able to keep the PIEDFORT. The one memory that she had left of her mother wasn't hers anymore, and there was nothing she could do about it. What do you think about the law? Should it be the property of the government if something valuable is found on your property, or should it belong to you? Tell us in the comments what you think and why. And subscribe for more.